So with Dragon Ball, it's been a long time and a lot of deaths has happened, but one of the complaints that the fandom has is that people don't stay dead in Dragon Ball, and that's where I present today's discussion in regards to, does death matter in Dragon Ball, in particular Dragon Ball Super, considering this is pretty much almost the end of the events of Dragon Ball. I know there's the time skip that happens at the end of the manga that more than likely is the conclusion to Dragon Ball Super, because this is like an in-between the time skip or whatever. But I gotta ask, does it really matter? You gotta think for a second. We had in the anime recently Piccolo die yet again, and it was almost as if nothing happened, in a sense of like, you know, we could take care of it like that. Like, it actually, his revival happened off screen, and it felt as though, because the manga and the movie didn't even have those events occur of Piccolo dying. So in a sense, in a weird way, even though the Super anime is its own thing and the manga is its own thing and the movies is its own thing, in a sense, it kind of had like a filler death of a main character like Piccolo. So when you can do something like that and then, oh, snap your fingers and the guy is back or whatever, and granted, this has been an element in Dragon Ball for a while, but the way it started off and the way it became is something very different, because in the beginning, there were limits to what the Dragon Ball can do and how many times somebody can be revived and stuff like that. When you had those limiters, it still made it that, okay, you know, maybe he could get wished back once again. So it kind of gave it like, all right, yeah, he could be wished back, but if it happens again, I think like what, you could be revived like once or twice or something like that from the Dragon Balls. But then they introduced the Namekian Dragon Balls, which he can revive people as many times as he sees fit. And then now we have the Super Dragon Balls, and that's where it becomes like, when death happens in Dragon Ball, you gotta add extra elements to make it matter, because death can always matter in the series in particular, because like, you know, it is a meaningful thing, it's a sad thing, it's a tragic thing, but when you can revive them like nothing, that's when it becomes problematic. However, when you do something like, take for example, the Cell games, after Goku died, sacrificed himself, which, oh my gosh, that destroyed all of us, you know, as a 11-year-old kid, I was fucked in the head like, no, my hero's gone, and he had an opportunity to be revived, and I was like, oh yay, jolly, which a lot of that is catering towards younger kids and stuff like that, that they want their heroes back or whatever, and they don't want to mess up the popularity of the series by killing all people's favorite characters, and then they'll lose interest. But when Goku decided, you know what, these people attacked Earth because of me, it's always been that they've been looking at me, and I'm almost as if I'm some bad fucking problem, I'm going to stay away, do not revive me. That's when it became more so like, okay, death does matter in a way, especially when people make those decisions like that, like, don't bring me back. That's when death does matter, because in certain instances, yeah, it kind of doesn't matter in Dragon Ball, being honest. In Super, it really doesn't matter anymore, because people could be revived. You know, let's just go to Purunga. Let's see, you know, if we've been dead by Shenron, yeah, we can get Shenron to revive us. If, you know, we got the Super Dragon Balls, like, there's many different ways to bring them back. But if you add extra circumstances, there can be some sort of meaning to it. So what I'm saying is, for the most part, no, death doesn't matter in Super. In Dragon Ball in particular, at this particular point in the timeline, it really doesn't matter. I mean, look, Frieza came back. How many times Frieza came back in filler and shit like that? But Frieza came back yet again. So, in essence, it doesn't really matter. But if you add circumstances and you do some quality writing, it can matter. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you feel as though there's no, in essence, threat that you feel because you know that the heroes can be revived? Now, granted, if a villain is to the point of strength that is like, he's killing people left and right, and there's nobody that can meet him strength-wise, then yeah, at the same time, death does matter, because it's like, you could revive them, but I'm still going to kill them again. So I guess death can always matter in almost any story, as long as you have limits and as long as you have extra circumstances to it. And your overall take on this, there's a, you know, ongoing joke with Dragon Ball at this point that like, I don't give a fuck, death doesn't matter, you know, this one dies, that one dies, they're going to be revived, you know, Krillin's died 80 billion times, and the motherfucker's still balding around. But yeah, that's my take on it. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed anything about this video, make sure to drop me a like, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook if you want more from me when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.